So a lot of people wonder why the F40 is such an iconic car for Ferrari, or when it comes to supercars in the 90s. And I think the one thing that really stands out is when they said they were going to build a race car for the streets, they actually built a race car that you can screw a license plate to. This thing is a work of art. It's the first car to 200 miles an hour. It's the last car produced with Enzo Ferrari at the factory, still alive, still implicated in the project. It commemorates the 40 years of Ferrari as a manufacturer. And it's the most beautiful Ferrari ever produced in my eyes. It was my poster child car. I had this car up on my wall every morning, right on top of my bed. It is the ultimate performance, raw, mechanical supercar ever produced. The tub is completely made out of carbon Kevlar. There's no radio. There's just the basics when it comes. There's no carpet. There's no door handle inside. It's roll down windows. It's got a fire extinguisher just in case you need it. It's manual, 5-speed V8 twin turbo rear drive. It is exactly what Ferrari wanted to build, I think, when they decided to come out with the most performant, car that they could ever build, getting all their technology into one package and saying, this is going to be a street car that's going to show off everything and anything Ferrari is in the 90s. Got your cabin air filter right here for the HVAC, the battery, what looks like a hole for the spare, but this car does not come with a spare tire actually. This is the pretty heavy 30-pound toolkit that holds with a little piece of Velcro when you're racing around Monza. Hopefully it doesn't fall onto the battery, with all its Ferrari engraved tools. For anybody like me who loves tools, this is really cool. I mean, when do you ever see a manufacturer do something like this nowadays? Even the keys are etched with the Ferrari logo. What else do we got in here? Let's see. If ever you want to change any of the accessory belts, which are really not accessible in this car, you'd probably have to remove the seats, remove the rear firewall. You might have all the tools to do that, and then access the belt. You have the socket for the center lock, but no power bar to remove that. We got a ratchet with a swivel, which is extremely necessary if ever you want to change a spark plug because you have a little misfire. Yeah, I mean, really cool stuff. This here is probably your flat tire. Yeah, so this is your take me home if ever you got a flat. It actually has an F40 on the front. That's really cool. All right. So unlike the F40, this car has a spare tire. You could probably do your gym exercise with this thing. It says 3¼ inch by 20. That does look like a 20-inch rim.
Yeah, it looks.
I mean, some people would have wanted to have 4 of those. How cool is that? It's still a center lock too. So how are you supposed to change the spare on the side of the road? Oh yeah, hold on. You got another heavy bag here. This is like, you got gym equipment in these cars. All right, so first things, you got the belt, if you need to change the belt. A couple of tools.
What?
Oh, that's the hammer. That's made like that, so you don't damage this thing. Well,
Wow.
that's pretty much how it works. All right, we're ready for our appointment at the back doctor. All square tube.
Yes.
That's it.
Back then, eh?
Square tube, gravel guard, fiberglass,
Yeah.
aluminum. Like somebody cut this by hand, every single piece, and he made the grill for this car. And he did that day in, day out,
Yeah.
for as many years as they produced this car.
Which is cool.
Which is very cool. Back when things were really made by hand. You got the tape deck, you got your little choke here, you still got an AC, you got your fog lights. It's iconic. If you forgot the rear open, here's you got the light for the rear latch system. The door handle in this car, if you don't know where it is, you're gonna be stuck inside the car, but it's actually underneath here to open the door. So you gotta know where that is. So I don't know if we looked through the Testarossa, but this car is like a time machine when you look inside. First of all, the leather, the color of the leather, the in the center console, you actually have what seems to be one of the first lap timers I've ever seen. So here, you got like this lap timer that you can stop, you can set your laps. I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't really see what else it could be, but it's something we'd have to look up. As well, you got the ashtray in the door right here for your cigar with a little light in it. Inside here, you can put all of your little tapes that you can then play in the tape player right here. So the Testarossa was, I think, for Ferrari, one of the most sold Ferraris of its time. It's a car that made Ferrari famous, not necessarily for racing, but as a car that a lot of celebrities owned. There was in a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies, and it's still one of those iconic Ferraris because of obviously the big vents on the side, the name Testarossa that Ferraris had for multiple years. That kind of pays homage to one of their race cars in the late 50s. I think 1957, the 250 Testarossa race car was one of Ferrari's most prized possessions when it won in its racing career. And then when they built this car, they named it Testarossa, not only because it sports the red valve covers, but as well, it also kind of wants to pay tribute to what was Ferrari, all the motorsports success that they've had in the past. Clutch, we can see right here through the inspection hole of what is one section of the transmission. So all in all, a very iconic car for Ferrari. And as far as this car being in the collection, it is not only a Testarossa, it's the Flying Mirror edition, which only has one mirror located on the driver's side, no mirror on the passenger side. Today is a beautiful day, and I think we're going to be taking her out alongside a couple of other Ferraris. So we'll get them out, we'll warm them up, we'll wait for the big boss to show up, and we'll head for a nice little scenic drive.
Twice a year we actually take our Ferraris and our collector cars for a spin. It's very important to basically get them to take some fresh air So we decided to take our stallions. I'll be driving the F40 today, which is a classic icon car. It's part of Class C cars that we have here, a certified Class C Ferrari. We're gonna get the Testarossa flying mirrors as well, the BB512 and the M16. So I'm sharing here that we're basically taking the stallions out of the stables today.
Yes.
Which we actually do twice a year. Why is it so important? They say,
and actually for the older model Ferraris or Lamborghinis or any type of car, you want to make sure that all the fluids are circulating in the engine. Most of these gaskets are cork, or they just need to be hydrated. Tanks need to be full. The less oxygen, the less corrosion when it comes to anything that's in the gas tanks. But keep having that mechanical upkeep, trying to minimize the mileage like we do,
yeah.
But enjoy. I mean, as you've always mentioned, you love driving your cars. So this is the best way to get both worlds coming together. It does it so good, and it does you so good, because well, I mean, you know, it's your car, right?
And what I'm happy to be able to share is actually to go for a ride with you guys, all of the people that actually share the same passion, the people from OB Prestige Auto. And one thing that you mentioned about the mileage, and this is a personal thing, this is how I think about our business. I always try to get the best cars. And I mean, we looked at 5 of them before buying this one.
Absolutely.
Because it's handmade and it was not perfect, the paint job, whatever. You know, not only the car needs to be perfect, but you should think about buying those collectible cars with the minimum mileage. Yeah. This is what will be worth money down the road. It's nice to own an F40, but if it's, I don't know from where, and it has tons of mileage, I mean, you know what, at the end of the day, there's another one that'll be better than you, and it'll probably be the one that's going to sell for more money because it's more desirable.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What do you say we go for a spin?
Let's do it. Let's go burn some fuel.
Chop, chop. Guys, here we go. So officially, this is, my goodness, so much traffic. So officially, this is my first time that I take the F40 for a spin. I did take it once when I took delivery of the car for a small spin, but so little time, so many cars to drive. This is the first real occasion that I have to take the car and enjoy it. It's a beautiful day, and I can tell you one thing is that you may as well train at the gym your calves, because that clutch is like super hard. It's like ridiculously hard. You again. When you drive manual, what I would suggest, you guys know that, but this is for the ones that don't practice it as much. Make sure that when you're in a red light or you're in the traffic, depress the clutch, put in neutral, and let everything go. You should not be in first gear and clutched in, waiting a minute and a half. The car is just not happy, and it's a great way of saving. So it's just a good habit. Neutral, foot off the clutch, and enjoy it. How's it end? Having a good day? Chop chop. This is actually, you know, we used to see that a lot in the US, and now they're promoting the Halloween shop. So, yeah, you know. At 5,000 RPM, she's like a jet ready to launch, to take off. Holy schmoly. There's lots of traffic today, so we'll be gentle and smart. And that's where you see that she's picking up. She's just coming alive.
Yeah, we're taking the paved one.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. That's a Paul response right there.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about. Seriously, it's not only taking care of the cars, selling the cars, owning the cars, but it's about enjoying and driving the cars. And everybody here are part of OB Prestige. We have some guys that are here today from our race team giving us a huge hand, and they basically have all the merit and the deserve basically to enjoy those beautiful moments, just to be able on a nice sunny day just to go out there and enjoy the cars, drive them. And you know what? This is a beautiful place. Where we live is a beautiful place. See this?
I agree.
Nature, we just came back. We don't have to drive like 2 hours to go into nature. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, boss.
Chop, chop. Chop, chop.